Compy's still sluggish as ever, but I'm not letting that stop me. Kayorei here with another guide for you peoples. I feel the need to apologize about my recent classic style challenge video. I was frustrated, and the challenge was just right to make an example out of. And that kind of stuff happens when I act on impulse. To make up for it, here's something that involves careful planning and execution before making it the video. Since no one made any suggestions after my last video, I guess I'm winging it on this one. By popular demand, and by that I mean no one's left me alone about him since I started this business, I bring you Nebula Gray, the final boss of Battle Network 5. This one's going to be distinct from my other final boss guides since I can actually give tips for both versions, so members of both Colonel's and Proto-Man's team can get in on the action. So, without further delay, let's go chase off the Avatar of Absolute Evil. Here it is, looking more like a boss from Final Fantasy rather than Mega Man, Nebula Gray. Standard form, of course, since I haven't unlocked Omega yet, the Proto-Man. As you can see here, Nebi has 2,000 hit points, pretty standard for final bosses. Omega level has twice that, so bring your best if you made it that far. As with its fellow gravity-defying bosses Duo and Balzar, attacks that require the ground are useless here. He also can't be area grabbed with his hand in the way, and that same hand also prevents a number of other attacks along the lines of Time Bomb and Air Spin from being feasible. Now that the introductions are out of the way, let's get this rolling. These purple fireworms are Nebi's passive attack, and are always filling the void between his main attacks. They aim directly through your position, horizontally, and one space away. They could appear from in front of or behind you, so your best bet is to dodge vertically. They can't appear on broken panels, so taking out your middle column and waiting in the back can give a moment's reprieve. Just make sure you're packing air shoes if you're gonna try that, though. That blue fireball circling Nebi, which I'm sure you noticed in the beginning, is the weak spot. When it completes a circuit, it stops for a moment, and Nebi launches one of his main attacks. It moves faster, and stops only very briefly for Omega. As a side note, and a tactic not shown here, the nature of this weak spot makes Nebula Gray the only final boss susceptible to the Lance Chip, for those Tomahawk Chaos users that are interested. Nebi's most common main attack is to spit a fireball that generates purple fire towers that chase you around for a while. It's best dodged by moving in a circle and can be interrupted by broken panels. Just be careful not to move too quickly, Shadow Soul users, or else you might run into the lingering tail end of it. When Nebi sends out a Dark Chip like this, prepare for one of 4 attacks: Dark Meteor, Dark Thunder, Dark Lance, or Dark Sword. All of these attacks work pretty much like your own Dark Chip attacks, just with a fraction of the power. Note, he only uses Dark Lance if you're in the back column, and Dark Sword if you're in the front too, though he doesn't care about your position for Dark Thunder and Dark Meteor, since the former follows you and the latter is aimed directly at you. On that note, Nebi's Dark Thunder has a tendency to stick to the middle row if you linger in the top row and stay out of the column it's moving to. Both versions of Battle Network 5 have a ridiculous amount of ways to boost the potency of your chips and make quick workable Nebi. Take Gyro Soul here for example, about to squeeze 200 damage out of a first level chip. Proto Soul and Magnet Soul have similar potential in Team Proto-Man, while Night Soul is practically game-breaking in Team Colonel, especially when paired with Quake Series chips, which, by the way, only needs to ground for its splash damage. Full Synchro and Anger, and by extension Rugged Humor, only continue to add to the list. The primary reason for the need of some form of shoes in this battle, Nebula Gray's second most common attack launches a Dragon Head at your position. It damages and cracks all the panels surrounding the impact point, so staying in the center of the field is anything but a good idea. Okay, that's not supposed to happen. Reason number 14 why I don't like this recording method. Anyway, let's move on. Nebi's infamous desperation attack. I've never been very consistent with dodging these hands. Unlike Meteor Knuckle, these are mostly random, aiming in your general area, but they're thankfully a bit slower, so it's more feasible to dodge by getting out of the yellow panels. But invisible is, of course, the most popular way to deal with this. If they manage to grab you, they'll drain your hit points and add it to Nebi's. Quick note, it eats bubble wrap, so if the bubble's up and you get hit, it's not coming back. Quick note on Chaos units. In this one battle, there's pretty much no penalty for using them. There's no place for Mega DS to appear should you mess up. Here, Proto Chaos is nice and simple, while Night Chaos is a personal favorite of Deep Kernel if I ever decide to go the cheap, quick route. And that's how you put that nuisance in its place. As Nebi's title of Final Boss suggests, you'll be seeing him at the end of the main storyline. Also, as usual, unlocking his Omega form is done by, guess what, collecting title screen icons. To be specific, collecting the Delta Ray or Costabyte Giga chip, collecting all the standard, Mega, Giga, and Dark chips, constructing all the program advances, and defeating base Omega. You know, standard fare. Nebi also appears in Nebula Area 6 as two of Chaos Lord's 4 forms, though his strength depends on how quickly you defeated your Virtual Soul Nebi's DS. So, that's it. If you don't have any problems with the way this turned out, feel free to send me suggestions for the next topic by PM or in the video comments. Just as a reminder, I'm still restricted to Battle Networks 2, Full Red Sun, and 5 Team Proto Man. I'm not taking suggestions at the forum right now though, for a couple of reasons. One, well, we've moved. Challenge Taker's forum is now Challenge Mode Forums. Look for it at s13.zetaboards.com/challenge_mode. 2, I haven't set up a good place for me to archive my guides at the new place yet. So, just using the 2 for suggestion gathering for now. Well anyway, now that that's out of the way, until next time, practice, stay sharp, and most importantly, have fun.